And fortunately, there are factors that prevents that from what do you call this? These local tourism to grow. Ang dahilan, Mr. President, ay nakikita po natin ay yung expensive transportation going to certain areas. It is beyond the control of the Department of Tourism, yung murang mga pamasahe, Mr. President. We have beautiful beaches in Basilan. We have beautiful beaches in Jolo, Tawi-Tawi, and other parts of the country. We have a beautiful scenery po dito sa Batanes. Unfortunately, Mr. President, napakamahal po. Mas mahal pa ang pamasahe sa mga lugar na ito kaysa pumunta ka ng Hong Kong. And this is the reason why, Mr. President, na our people would rather go to Hong Kong or Taiwan kasi yung one-way ticket going to Batanes or one-way ticket going to Tawi-Tawi is more expensive compared to a round-trip ticket going to Hong Kong, Mr. President. Now, my question is, Mr. President, anong may efforts na po ba ang ginagawa ang DOT para kausapin itong mga airlines na ito na baka pwede naman tumulong to promote local tourism, Mr. President?
You're correct, Mr. President. May mga nagsasabi, mas mura pa pumunta, let's say, sa Hong Kong or sa Singapore, etc. pag maaraw. Let me just put this on record. The Department of Tourism recognizes that high airfares are a key deterrent to travel. And they're working closely with the Department of Transport, Civil Aeronautics Board, DTI, and the PCC to address this. The CAB, in consultation with DOT, is finalizing a code of conduct for online travel agencies to ensure transparency and fair pricing, aligning consumer protection under the Internet Transactions Act, and supporting PCC investigations on non-competitive airline practices. The department has also engaged airlines such as Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airlines, AirAsia, to explore ways to stabilize fares, particularly for key island destinations like Siargao. In partnership with the OTR and CAB, DOT will launch a public information campaign to promote airfare transparency and to help travelers find the best deals. Also, well, we know this. When we book much earlier, then it's off-peak, then we take advantage of seat sales that usually are more competitive in terms of rates. But I agree with you that yes, domestic airfare can be very expensive, and that's why the DOT is doing what it can to deal with the other agencies of government.
Thank you for that answer, Mr. President. I am aware that the good secretary is doing her best to promote tourist destination in various provinces, cities in this country. Unfortunately, yung transportation going to that area is limits that, Mr. President, because of the high cost of fare going to that area. So hindi siya na po promote. My last question also, Madam Chair, can the Department of Tourism also help promote other areas like in Marinduque? They have beautiful beaches there, in Romblon. Is it possible ba to talk to international airlines na aside from Boracay, may mga direct flights po dyan, and Cebu and Davao, po pwede din ba sa mga airports like in Palawan, El Nido, kasi wala na po yatang mga international flights dyan. Yung mga galing sa Singapore, they also want to go to El Nido. Nangyayari, they go to Manila muna before going down to Palawan. I don't know anong ginagawa ng Department of Tourism dito. Can the DOT talk to these airline companies maybe, Mr. President?
Thank you for bringing it up. I wish it were under the DOT, but they have closely coordinated. They have a list already submitted to DOTR for the priority destinations. An example would be El Nido. Mr. President, first, it's a private airport. Second, even if it's a private airport, the flights are infrequent, hindi po madalas. And even, let's say, the runway would not be eligible perhaps for a jet. It would depend on the airports. And we know that the OTR is one of the agencies that's, sorry to say this, a laggard. They have one of the highest in absorptive capacity. Hindi nag-obligate ng budget, hindi ginagawa. I've been sitting here, I even defended their budget maybe in 2012, and it was the same issue through 3 administrations. For some reason, the OTR through CAAP are very slow in trying to rehabilitate or even build new regional airports. I agree with you that we have regional airports and even some of the regional to transform them with longer runway to be able to accept not the propeller but the jet. That would be a game changer. So if there could be direct flights internationally, even from our Southeast Asian neighbors. Kasi nga, hindi tayo landlocked like Indonesia or Singapore or Thailand, etc. Tayo kasi kailangan talaga lumipad. Yes, so it would be dependent on the DOTR and its completion and rehabilitation of regional airports and the transformation of regional airports into an airport capable of accepting international flights.
With the indulgence of Senator Tulfo and the chair, actually I defend also the budget of the OTR just for the information that yung pong funds from the flood control, a big portion of that will be reallocated to airport improvement, no? Especially for the tourism areas. Siargao Airport will be upgraded. Amati Airport para po ma-open yung eastern side of Davao, no? And several other airports, Legazpi, Bohol, Daet. We will be opening new airports and new destinations. So at least this will still be an economic driver, no? Para po hindi masayang. We still need construction and to drive the economy. Kaya po instead of the flood control, we added a lot. We allocated a big budget for the improvements of the airport, especially the tourism destination airports like Siargao, Bohol, and Legazpi.
Thank you for that information. Thank you for the advocate again of air travel, and alam ko yung rail travel, I think, should also be looked into, and Senator JV has been espousing for that. I'd like to put on record as well the new air routes international that were done under the term of Sec Frasco through collaboration with the DOTR. Air Canada from Vancouver, Philippine Airlines from Da Nang and Sapporo, United Airlines from San Francisco, daily ito, Jetstar from Perth 3 times a week, Air India from New Delhi 5 times a week, and Vietjet from Ho Chi Minh 5 times weekly. Cebu Pac, Ho Chi Minh 3 times a week, Philippine Airlines, Ho Chi Minh 3 times a week, Firefly, Kuala Lumpur, Jetstar, Brisbane from Brisbane 3 times a week. And PAL, there's a increased frequency. This is domestic. Manila Kawayan 7, that's daily for Philippine Airlines, and domestic routes Cebu Catarman 3 times a week, Cebu Pacific, Clark El Nido, Clark Coron, Clark Masbate, Clark Siargao, which is daily. These are new routes, both domestic and international, which the DOT had done in collaboration with the DOTR, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. My last question, or second to last question, Madam President. Alam ko po hindi trabaho ito ng Department of Tourism, but there's a lot of local government units, the mayors, I have encountered during the campaign season, yung announcement na lahat ng turboprop na flights going to the provinces ililipat po sa Clark. And naapektuhan po places like Naga, like dyan po, turboprop sila. Ilocos, yung mga regional flights. So they have to go, yung mga pasahero, tinatamad na going to these places. Kasi po, bumibiyahe pa po ng Clark. Galing sila Manila, pupunta pa ng Clark para makarating doon sa Ilocos or Naga or what have you within Luzon, papunta ng Kawayan, Isabela. So nababawasan. And I'm sure naapektuhan dito ang turismo sa mga lugar na yun. Mayroon po bang magagawa rito? Will the Department of Tourism engage into a meeting or dialogue with the DOTR regarding this matter?
Yes. The DOT, of course, supports the local governments who have been affected in the regional airports with the transfer of the turboprop to Clark. They've endorsed the requests. It's pending with the DOTR. What's the NNIC? The private operator, the NNIC. I'm not certain if all the turboprops have been moved to Clark. Kasi our San Jose Airport in Antique was turboprop, but because we recently finished a new terminal building and extended the runway, that's the reason perhaps that we have not been transferred, and hopefully we will not be transferred because that makes it more expensive.
As far as I understand,
100%.
Mr. President, if it's a turboprop, if it's a turboprop, it's not jet. All of it from now on, I don't know, it started when, doon na po sila sa Subic. Wala na po dyan sa Terminal 2 or Terminal 4 na mga turboprop. Lahat po sila nandoon na po sa Subic. So this is the complaint ng mga LGU. So medyo naapektuhan yung tourism industry nila.
I think that the solution would be to extend the runways to be able to receive not just the turboprop but the jets. Yes, I think that's a solution. And the OTR would say that what we need is a budget. So just thinking ahead, if we will delete more than 3 billion from the DPWH budget of the small tourism roads, which are in engineering districts. We can actually put it in the OTR. Again, it depends on the chair, for the extension of runways where the regional airports are not able to receive planes more than turbo propellers, if there is the land available. Because palaging sinasabi, propeller lang kaya kasi maikli ang runway. Bakit maikli ang runway kung may lupa naman at wala naman tao doon dahil walang pondo? Pero kung lalagyan nyo ng pondo, may panahon pa tayo sa Senate version, bakit hindi?
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, I support the budget of DOT and other attached agencies to it. And now, Mr. President, I yield the floor to the Majority Leader.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, there being no other reservation for interpellation, I move to close the period of interpellation on the budget of the Department of Tourism, its attached agencies, the Office of the Secretary, Bureau, Tourism Motions Board, Intramuros Administration, National Parks Development Committee, Philippine Commission on Sports Scuba Diving, the attached corporations, Tourism Motions Board, Tourism Infrastructure Enterprise Zone Authority, Duty Free Philippines Corporation, Nayong Filipino Foundation, and the Philippine Retirement Authority. And the same be deemed submitted for the body's consideration.
Any objection? Hearing none, the budget of the Department of Tourism and its attached agencies are hereby deemed submitted.
Thank you very much to the Majority Leader for jump-starting the very productive questions. Thank you as well, aside from Senator Ejercito, to Senator Erwin Tulfo for this. And I'm glad that the chairman is here so that he knows the request for additional budget from the Majority Leader. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm in suspension.
Session suspended.
Definitely, Mr. President, there are not enough forest rangers defending our forests. And I agree with you, yung uka-ukang mukhang sungkang bundok yun, ay hindi binabantayan. Hindi talaga, aminin ko na, hindi po talagang kayang bantayan lahat ng ating kabundukan. At maski yung sinasabing binabantayan, sa tingin ko, hindi sapat at hindi tama ang ating pagbabantay. At sa tingin ko, masyadong maluwag ang pagbibigay ng mga permit sa pagpuputol ng mga punong kahoy. Ako'y po'y naniniwala sa inyong sinasabi and I join you in that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, for ika nga pagsang-ayon po sa hindi lamang po ako, Mr. President, na nakakita diyan, nakapansin, kundi marami po tayong kababayan. Mamaya po, ito po ay sample pa lamang po sa Surigao. Mamaya po, hindi pa natin natatalakay ang status po ng Sierra Madre. May mga litrato po kami at video, ano na po ang nangyayari sa Sierra Madre. But moving forward, Mr. President, ang tanong ko po, ilan po ang mining companies na license po na nag-ooperate to this day? Or ilan pong mining companies ang may lisensya para magmina po dito sa ating bayan? How many?
Balikan lang po natin yung tanong ni SL for Ocean Energy. Yung pinakita niya is a national grid.
Pero before you answer that, Mr. President, balikan ko lamang po, yung binanggit po, yung pinakita ko kaninang video ay part po yung na National Greening Program na dapat pong binabantayan pero kalbo na ngayon. So ang tanong natin, saan napunta yung budget nito na para pangalagaan ang bundok na ito? National Greening, Mr. President, wala na pong punong kahoy. Jesus Maria Jose, Mr. President.
Ako po'y lubos na sumasang-ayon sa inyo at inaantay ko po mula sa MGB ang listahan ng lahat ng mining companies.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Then I guess wala pa rin ho sa inyong kamay. Itatanungin ko sana kung ilan po ang unlicensed, Madam Chair. Mr. President.
Again, ayon to sa kanilang datos, there are 59 operating metallic mines, 52 producing mines, 7 mines under care and maintenance. There are 60 operating non-metallic mines, 52 producing mines, and 8 mines under care and maintenance. Is this all? Ito lang ba? Buong Pilipinas na to?
Ito yung operating.
Operating and non-operating.
Ito yung metallic na metallic.
Oh. Lahat. These are all operating. Okay, diba? This is further records, Mr. President.
All right. Dito naman po tayo sa unlicensed, Mr. President. Kung wala po silang listahan ng unlicensed, mali po ang MGB. Kailangan meron po kayong accountability din or accounting ng mga unlicensed dahil marami po tayong mga small scale mining, illegal mining sa ating bansa at mas dumarami ito.
Yun po sa kanila, ang meron lang sila, yung legitimate na may license, wala kayong alam sa mga nagbili ng walang lisensya. Lugar, walang pangalan. Okay. Ayon po sa kanila, yung mga walang lisensya, pero merong small scale mining ay Paracale, Camarines Norte. Saan sa Misamis? Opol, Misamis, Ok or Or? Oriental, Opol, Misamis Oriental. Saan pa po? Mount Tiwalwal. Parang first term ko pa, ito na yung problema. Pang-apat ko ng termino, yung problema. Okay, Mount Tiwalwal, Compostela Valley, that's Davao Ok. And then,
Sa bandang Benguet po meron din.
where in Benguet?